I've worked so hard this year, Mark. I mean, I want to treat myself. What do I do with my bonus, if I get one, that is?
Yeah, I think there's nothing wrong with treating yourself, just within limits. You have worked hard, so it's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Try keep it to 10% though. It's very hard not to treat yourself. You know, enjoy it, you've worked for it, you've earned it. And if you don't, you're probably going to, down the line, cheat, so to speak, and just spend the money anyway. Do it now, within reason, and then you've got 90% left over to set yourself up for the coming year or the next things that you want to do.
So what's a smart way to actually make sure that you use that 90% over the next year wisely?
The first thing is assume that there's going to be an emergency, whether it be something that you didn't plan on, generally, car being fixed, kids making the first team cricket or whatever it might be, wanting to go on cricket tour, whatever it might be. Assume it's going to happen. Put some money aside for that so it doesn't take you by surprise and you're not too worried about the money. That's, in my opinion, probably the first biggest secret to actually taking control of your money is the emergency one. Yeah.
What about paying off your debt with that money? Use 10% for the festive season and then paying off debt or paying towards debt that will give you that extra cash next year. Is that wise?
Yes, definitely. I mean, what I wouldn't encourage is using debt for emergencies. That's definitely not what you want to do. Pay off debt. Pick a debt that you can pay off quickly and easily and, most importantly, permanently. There's no point in going into debt, having no savings, paying it down, and you end up with debt and no savings again. It's a bit of an endless cycle doing that. So definitely pay off debt. Pick one that you can pay off quickly and easily and get it off your debit orders, and that makes life easier again. In the next year, you've just got more money to spend.
Yeah, and then, of course, you're not having to pay that high interest on your debt. So when it comes to professional advice, I mean, people don't really do this, especially when you're not super rich and you have all this money that you need to know what to do with. Do you actually go to a consultant and say, help me out, or do you work it out yourself based on your expenses and your lifestyle?
Look, there's nothing wrong with a professional service. Good value, good professional service can guide you where you need to go. It does help to know what you want, which is often the most tricky step, needing to put money aside for emergencies, paying down those debts, saving for retirement, very importantly. It is a very important thing, and ultimately I think most people want to retire at some point. The best way is to go about it. Enjoy tax benefits for retirement savings, use tax-free savings accounts for the tax benefits, for example, the right investment portfolios to achieve what you want to do. You wouldn't use a very risky structure or high volatile structure for emergency savings, for example, and the inverse is also true. So, you know, the value of advice is actually really important to make sure that you actually get what you want when you want it.
Yeah. What about actually putting that money, because you ordinarily wouldn't get it, into an investment account so you see bigger returns in a year instead of just saving it and having it on standby?
Look, in a year, I would consider that a short-term investment. Longer than a year, possibly a medium-term investment. And, you know, with investments, you do need to take into consideration volatility. Volatility is par for the course, but you don't want unnecessary volatility in your investment. So knowing when you want to spend it actually helps you decide on the entire investment strategy. Within a year, I wouldn't take too much risk at all, if any, for that matter, just to make sure that when you need it, you know what's there and how much is there, so you can plan, you know, effectively.
So me going to Cape Town at the end of the year, I know it's going to be more than 10% of my bonus because it's crazy. But for people who actually say to themselves, let me actually take 20 or 30% because I've really worked that hard. I need to relax before I come back to work and go through that cycle for another 11 to 12 months.
Yes.
What would you say to that?
Look, most people have generally decided what they want to do already. So to deny a person that they're not going to do it is probably a bit difficult. Remember, you do have those emergency savings, and I would say too, as you already mentioned, is looking over the next 12 months. Look at yourself in the next 12 months where you have put that money away. Now come the next trip to Cape Town next year, you've got the additional 10% of next year's bonus, hopefully, and the emergency savings that you've put away. And over time, you get both the short-term gratification of doing what you want to do, plus a little bit extra to have a little bit more fun with what you want to do.
All right. Thank you so much for your time and your insight. Appreciate it. That was Mark Hawes, financial planning consultant at Alexander Forbes.